Hey guys, so it's been a while since I posted the last video, and I was supposed to post a video about 3 days into the playthrough of Mass Effect Andromeda, but I figured it was better to finish the whole game and then do sort of a summary of what I think about the game and the different points of the game, the story, the characters, and everything. Um, so that's what I'm doing now. And I finished the game last week, I think it was. So it's giving me a time to like look back at how everything went through my head, not just right after the game. I get really emotional after I finish a game or whatever, and now it's giving me some time to like think about every aspect of the game instead of just when I finished it. Um, so the first thing I want to go through is like my expectations for the game were sort of 50-50. I mean, I didn't know how to or what to expect in the game because I'm a huge fan of the trilogy. And what about no matter what bad things people like to say about the trilogy, I love it, and so it was a little like I knew they were gonna change a lot of it, and I wasn't really ready for that. But then again, it's a new Mass Effect game, so I was really I was really waiting for a chance to play more of that universe. And when it comes to all the hate that's been coming in Andromeda, like about the story, about the graphics, and everything possible. I mean, it was really hard to listen to it because I was like actually listening to what people said about it, and I get really depressed about maybe it's not good after all. But when I got the game, I was like, you know what? I don't care about what other people think. I want to play it, and I've been waiting for a long time. So yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say about expectations and the hate. So the first thing I want to really comment on is the character creation. It's one of the funnest things about BioWare's games, like Mass Effect and Dragon Age, is the character creation. And I mean, it wasn't a lot different from the trilogy, but there were some aspects of it that were a little bit different. I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't want to say any spoilers for the people who haven't played the game. This is sort of like if people want to watch this before they play, then that's okay, and if they don't, then that's okay too. It's sort of like that point of video. So I'm not gonna spoil anything. Hopefully, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But the character creation was really fun, and it was there were a lot of choices, and I mean, I like some of the choices that they put in, uh, that you could really make a character special. Uh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna show a picture of my character at the end of the video, so I could say like they allow you to put in like tattoos on the face and scars, sort of like they would in Fallout or Dragon Age, and it's really fun to do. And there's some new points about the gameplay, like there are skills you can choose between, which I think was really fun way to play because it's sort of more complicated and it made a little bit more interesting to play. A little more like you have to have a tactic through the different parts of the game, the different missions, the different enemies you face. It's all something you have to create. You can't just run in there and fight your way through it all. You have to like have a tactic to play it. Um, and there's you can like jump higher, and you can I don't know what I don't want to spoil it because it's so fun to find out, but there are some aspects to the gameplay, the combat system that thought was pretty awesome. And it made it a lot more fun than the trilogy, because it moved a lot faster than different BioWare games have done. So that was incredibly awesome. I mean, awesome. You also get the Nomad, which is sort of like the Mako from the first game. And I didn't like the Mako from the first game, but Nomad is really helpful. It's really helpful. I used it a lot, so yeah. And also the weapons are some new ones and some of the old ones, and it's really great. And I found my favorite weapons in the different categories early on. And they have some twists to the new weapons, so I thought that was it was different, and it was special to play it. And I like I said, it's a lot about tactic. Yeah. When it comes to um, the story was not that different from the trilogy, but sort of different. Because in the trilogy, it's like it's about I mean, the trilogy is sort of like a big, huge story, um, sent into like three different games. Um, and there's something special about it, you know? Um, but the new game Andromeda is like it's a huge game, um, but it's sort of like the trilogy in certain aspects of it. Um, and I mean the story is great. The trilogy, of course, is amazing, and it feels like a movie, or like it's so big and it's so much information and it's all over the place. Um, and so was Andromeda. It's an amazing story. It's hard to get into it. At first, I think it's sort of like it was hard because it was at the beginning. It's sort of a different story than what you're used to, but as I played on and on, it's like you get more and more into it, you know. And uh, so compared to the trilogy, the story is um, I wouldn't say it's better, but in some aspects, in some points in the game, I would actually say it's better. But it's hard to say that the whole story is better than the trilogy because uh, it's really hard to choose between the big stories, you know. Um, when it comes to team, of course, the team is through all the Mass Effect games, the team is sort of something that is going through all the game. You know, it's usually you find the team going through the game, and it's going on missions to help the team trust you, to make the team like work together well, and it's the choices you make and everything. It's all got to do with the team, and I think that this was one of these people on the Andromeda were some of the best teammates. Of course, I love like Liara and Garrus and everyone from the first game actually. And you know but I feel like the backstories to the people in Andromeda were a little bit more um, enjoyable, I guess you could say. It's been a long time since I actually played the trilogy now. Uh, and I haven't played the DLC, so but don't judge me on that. Come on, I'm going to. Uh, but and it's possible that in the DLC that they explain the backstory of some people. Um, but I feel like the teammates in Andromeda were more. I got more information through them. I felt more of a connection between the teammates and the way I can communicate with them in compared to the trilogy. And the villains in Andromeda were, I mean, I don't want to like be that guy, but the villains were like the low point in the game. Um, I mean, they were okay until like you got to a certain point in the game, and then it was sort of a disappointment because it didn't feel like an enemy. It didn't feel like you know like the great ones you got in the trilogy. Um, I feel like they cut down on the enemies, and that really hurt. Um, but I I feel like they will continue the story, so maybe it's like something more is coming, something more amazing and more backstory on everything about the enemy, hopefully. Um, and as I said, I won't spoil anything, but I will say that there were a lot of Easter eggs to both the trilogy and other games and movies and everything in Andromeda. There were a lot, and it was fun actually because it made it like if I was tired because it's an open world game, you could get easily tired of the gameplay because it's a lot of the same, but then you can like go around and you can do like tiny missions and just walk around, hear the characters talk to each other, and like find Easter eggs, and it really helped because it was like interesting how many Easter eggs can I find in one playthrough. So if you play Andromeda, and you should, try to look for as many Easter eggs as you can find. It was actually pretty funny to find some of the Easter eggs. Um, and I wanted to mention the music, like the background music, because in games that's only the real technical gamers really talk about the music, but the music was incredible. It was uh, I don't know who made the music, but it was so well done. Like it, if it, if the scene was to make you scared, and it made you scared because of the music, and at the high point of the game, the music will make you cry, and it will make you feel something about these characters that you play and spend time with for such a long time. So I just want to say thank you to whoever made the music. I mean, that's incredible. And the graphics, like I wasn't gonna mention too much about the graphics, but a lot of people before the game came out even were mentioning the graphics and how bad they thought the graphics was. And yes, they weren't perfect, but come on, they weren't like bad either. Yes, it didn't look natural, but come on, I mean, are you just gonna nitpick about it? Why would you nitpick about that? And they fixed it. They updated the game, so it fixed most of the problems that you can still see in videos on the internet. But um, I mean, I liked it. I didn't care about the graphics. I mean, I care about the graphics, but I didn't care that they may have been bad. They were great. The story was still great. So you know. Um, and my playthrough, I didn't see everything. I didn't complete it 100% because there was one mission I didn't get. So I'm gonna do that in the next one. Hopefully I'll get 100% then. I got like 99%, I think. Also, I'm hoping that some DLC would come out soon. That'll be amazing. Maybe at E3 this year they'll show us some trailer or something about it. That would be awesome. Um, but yeah, I did my playthrough and it was an emotional journey, to say the least. And I'm glad I bought the game. And I'm really happy with how my character turned out. At first, I was like, "Ugh, I cannot make characters." But then as I played with it, I really liked how it was. And also for the voice actors, I love the voice actors. Um, I feel like um, it's more down to earth. Ryder, the main character that you play as, is more. I feel like I can relate to him more than I could relate to Shepard in the trilogy, because Shepard was more like a military type guy. Of course, that was what he was meant to be, but Ryder is more like someone is just pushed into something that he was never expecting to be pushed into. So it's like uh, he's more funny about it. He's sarcastic. I mean, it's everything you could hope for in the character you play as, because it's more down to earth and more relatable than Shepard is. And to finish, I would just recommend people to play this game. Of course, it's a huge game and it will take you lots of hours to play through it all. Um, but it's a great experience, and if you are a gamer and you love to game, then this is perfect game for you, because it's an amazing game, and as everything I've said before, it's really an enjoyable game. It's something you can enjoy. It's not just work, you know. Um, and also, if you love playing with other people online, there's an online section for it too, which you sort of can. Don't want to spoil that too much, but you can sort of like mix together your online playing and your one player. So in the story mode, it's good that way too. I haven't played that much of the online, but I think I will soon. Soon, I guess. Yeah. So I guess that was my sort of my um, take on Mass Effect Andromeda, and um, yeah, there's nothing else to say actually. I think. Um, yeah.